20, 25, 30 years, nobody will remember. And then after that, only his family. And after that, not even his grandkids gonna remember.
This is the Schmo with the Pro. He's 26-1. He's the number 10th ranked UFC lightweight. He's Money Moicano in the flesh. American top team, Coconut Creek, Florida. How we doing?
Doing very good. What about you, Schmo?
The Schmo can't complain. We're a big fan of those shades.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. You have to be in style, right, while we are in American top team.
Styling and profiling, the only way you know how to do things.
Exactly, my brother. Man, thank you so much for you to interview us, to be here in American Top Team. And UFC Miami 314 almost going down. I'm excited for the fights, especially the lightweight fights, and let's see what these guys are up to.
There it is. What do you think is going to happen in that fight? Do you think it's going to go to championship rounds? Do you think we're going to get a finish? Do you think we're going to get a decision? What's your takeaway between Paddy the Baddy and Michael Chandler?
I don't know. I'm really curious about that one, you know, because I think UFC made everything possible to Paddy the Baddy be on the top 10, on the top 5, and I think Michael Chandler is the perfect opponent for him. But the plans could go wrong, you know, because Paddy always like that, the chin up in the air. But to be honest, I hope Paddy beats Michael Chandler, and let's see what's next for him.
Maybe a future opponent of yours, Paddy the Baddy. Maybe.
Maybe, I don't think so. Right now, you know, especially in fighting Chandler right now, like he said, probably he's gonna try to fight Gaethje or somebody on the top 5, but who knows? Who knows? You know, life is, sometimes life goes in different paths, so we never know.
We'll talk to the Schmo for a second. You're fresh off a trip in Brazil. Last time we saw you compete, UFC 311, you stepped up, main event against Islam Makhachev. You were supposed to fight Beneil Dariush, but you stepped up, you fought in the main event. It didn't go your way, but what do you think you learned the most when you reflect on that matchup?
Schmo, I'll be completely honest with you. My bank account learned the most. I make a huge money, I make good money, and I'm taking all the visibility, all the spotlights that I have fighting for the title, and going in different directions, because I'm 35, almost 36, you know. I'm not gonna be competing for long, you know. I'm closer to stop fighting than to start fighting. I'm not telling you that I'm gonna retire on the next 2-3 years. Who fucking knows? I don't know. So I'm gonna take advantage of that, because there is a lot of shit going on in Brazil. I went over there and I was talking in a speech about economics with huge names over there, talking about how we can make Brazil great again. How can we help, especially with the judiciary system and all the wrong things they are doing in Brazil. So I'm gonna try to help my people, I'm gonna try to help Brazil to be more like USA on the free market, even though it's tough to say that America is a free market right now specifically, but like I say, I took advantage of the fight. Islam is the best pound for pound on the sport right now. I don't regret it, you know. I just have to do my stuff. Now I get back to the training, and in a couple month or so, I will be ready to fight.
So you say he's the best pound for pound fighter in the world right now. You felt it, you experienced it. Who do you think he should be fighting next? Do you think it's Ilia Topuria, Justin Gaethje, Arman Tsarukyan? Who do you think he should be defending next?
I think he should fight in Ilia Topuria. In my opinion, that's the matchup that I want to see, you know, because he was saying that Topuria was small, but you have to remember, Topuria fought in the 55 before. He knocked out Jay Herbert, that is a tall lightweight. You know, if he could deal with the takedown and the pressure of Islam Makhachev, I think Islam Makhachev will be in trouble, you know. Topuria is one of the best right now. I know he's really young. He needs to... He beat Volkanovski in the end of his career, but at the same time he knocked Max Holloway, so he's really good. But we need to see more, and I think for a champion to step up like that, they should put him for a title, you know. Lightweight right now is a mess. That's why, I don't know, we're not getting any fight news of the champ, of the top 5, and I think it's because Islam is not fighting Topuria.
Well, Gaethje told the Schmo yesterday he'd put his name in the hat. He would like to fight him in June.
Of course he wants, of course he wants. Makhachev wants too. Stylistically, it's a good fight for Makhachev. That's why he wants to fight in Gaethje. but I don't think he deserves, in my opinion, you know. And you could ask, who am I to say that? I am a fan. I am a fan that fortunately is in the top 10 of the sport. I lose my last fight, but fuck that. I have some opinions about that, and I think Justin Gaethje was coming off a loss to Max Holloway that was not in the division, and beat Rafael Fiziev, that right now is in a 3-streak loss, and he took the fight on 10 days notice. Beating a guy like that, even though Rafael Fiziev is really good, and he beat me before, doesn't seem right to go right away to the title, you know what I mean?
Certainly, your perspective counts for sure. Yeah. Fiziev's trained here, Ilia Topuria's trained here. Have you trained with Ilia Topuria before?
No, I never trained with Topuria and Gaethje, nobody, none of the guy on the top 5 that I trained most was Matheus Ganro, Dustin Poirier, and Grant Dawson.
When are they going to announce Dustin Poirier's fight? We're all waiting for that.
Yes, I'm waiting. He's a legend, brother. He inspired me so much, being like a role model as a fighter and as a man. I think he's a very good role model as a father, and I think he deserves a huge event. You know, they say he's gonna fight in Louisiana. I don't know the opponent, but I hope he's a legend too.
Diego Lopez and Volkanovski in the main event. Volkanovski, a legend of the sport, but if he loses to Diego Lopez, that's 3 in a row for Volk. What do you think the legacy does if he does lose this fight?
It is what it is. We should not be thinking about legacy. Me as a fighter, I cannot tell because I cannot say because I'm not a champion or anything, but my advice to people is don't care about too much about legacy, because nobody fucking cares. Look, Volkanovski, he used to be my favorite fighter, and then he lose 2, and now I don't like him that much. So how I gonna complain when people don't like your style when you're losing? It is what it is. Volkanovski was one of the best ever, but if you keep losing, people gonna hate you. So I think he should not care about too much about legacy, because even if he's like Khabib, you know, that has a huge legacy, never lost. 20, 25, 30 years, nobody will remember. And then after that, only his family. And after that, not even his grandkids gonna remember him. So doesn't matter. Make your money now, do the things that you love now, and don't think too much about legacy and all that stuff.
With that said, does he get the job done?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough fight, because I like Volkanovski on this matchup, because he knows how to control, he knows how to take him down, and Diego Lopes was controlled by Evloev. I don't think they have the same wrestling pedigree, but Volkanovski knows how to mix it up and make an MMA fight.
For anybody starting off with a little bit of moolah, a little bit of cheddar in their bank account, what's your best business advice for them on how to make that money grow?
Now, study Bitcoin, because you see in the market last weekend it dropped, it plumbed like 10%, like crazy. The volatility because of the tariffs and all that stuff that is going on with President Trump and the trade war, let's say, is going to affect the market so much. And me personally, I don't tell people to invest. But if you want my advice, that is not financial advice, play safe, you know, mutual funds, ETFs, long term. And even with that, you're going to lose money to inflation, you know. That's why you have to understand the principles of decentralization of the Austrian economics that are live right now through Bitcoin. You know, decentralization, scarcity, digital scarcity. Study Bitcoin and understand that, because on this year the volatility on the market is going to be crazy. Trump is trying to industrialize America again, because the dollar is the reserve currency, and that is the three-thing dilemma. You cannot be the reserve, the global reserve currency, and be very industrialized at the same time. So that's why it's very expensive to produce stuff in the USA, and that's why they produce outside. So Trump is trying to fix that and to industrialize the country. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if they're going to trigger a recession. I don't know if Trump is trying to do that to trigger a recession and to refinance the debt through lower interest rates, you know, so the Fed maybe gonna cut interest rate because the market is suffering right now. So study the macroeconomics, study Bitcoin, and try to play safe because the next couple years they're going to be crazy. Have you ever heard about the melt up, the big melt up? The assets going to inflate, you know, housing market, stock market, Bitcoin. So if you're not prepared, if you keep your money on your bank account, you're gonna fucking losing big. So that's how you have to prepare yourself. And I recommend you a very good book. The name is Bitcoin Standard. Tells about the money. There is an English version of the book, so you can learn about Bitcoin and money, and maybe you can save yourself to be obliterated financially.
Money Moicano with the advice. When we seeing you next inside the octagon?
I don't know, brother. I think I want to fight in June, you know. To be honest with you, I just got back to training and I want to fight in June, International Fight Week, you know. I want the exposure. I want people calling my name, you know. I want to be in a big show. I don't want to fight fucking Apex, you know, UFC. Please, let me fight on the International Fight Week, and I'm going to beat the next motherfucker for fucking sure. When people say I cannot afford to lose, I say that for a reason. But last fight was flat money, you know, so I was not caring too much. But right now, next fight, I have to win to make the double checks. And let me tell you fucking something, I cannot afford to lose. UFC, International Fight Week, whoever wants can have it.
There it is. He's the pro, I'm the Schmo, American Top Team. We're out.